Do you remember the last time I came to Italy? I must have been, what, 11? That put me on the train in London, and you were supposed to pick me up in Genoa. But something happened and you never came. You did. Eventually. But it was like a day later. I remember all the trains had come in, and all the people had been greeted by their families and friends. And I just sat there, watching them. Waiting to spot your face in the crowd. But it got dark and you never made it. It must have been 1 in the morning, and I was lying on this bench when this man approached me. He asked me if I was alright, and I said that I was waiting for my mom, and that she would be there soon, so I should wait for her until she got there. And then he said, "Why don't you come back to my house? You can have something to eat, you can rest, and then I'll bring you back in the morning." And even though I knew in that moment that it was wrong for me to follow this man back to his house, I stood up, I picked up my bag, and I followed him. And a part of me was thinking, this will show her. This will show her. This will fucking show her. So we walked the streets of Genoa, and we got to this old building. His flat was on the top. He opened the door and he let me in. He asked me to sit down, and then he gave me a glass of wine. Even he made some joke about not telling my parents. He cooked dinner. He made pasta with tomato sauce. And I could tell he was nervous, because his hands were shaking and I could feel the wine whooshing around my head. So I asked him if I could use the bathroom, and he took me down the hall and he showed me where it was. The light in the bathroom was very weak, as if the wall was broken or something. It was quite dark, so I could only just see my face in the mirror. I stood there for some time, wondering why you haven't shown up at the station. And it was in that moment when I was trying to see myself in the mirror that I heard him. I heard him breathing outside the door. So him be standing there all along, all this time. And when I tried to open the door, I couldn't. As if it was blocking him from the other side, I couldn't. And then, after a little, it opened. And he wasn't there. He was back in the kitchen. So I went back. After we eaten, he asked me if I wanted to sleep in his bed with him, and I said I didn't. So he took some sheets out of a cupboard and he turned the sofa into a bed for me, and then he said that he would wake me up at 6 and then he would walk me back to the station, and that's what he did. Lately I can't seem to get that night out of my head. I keep thinking of myself, trying to find myself in the mirror in that damn lit bathroom in that strange and foreign city. Where were you? Where were you? Where were you, Mom? You were never there.